Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Brent McGrath, and I'm the host of Talks and Discussions, What Matters and What Doesn't Matter. And today we have a young lady. Her name is Yanette David Medrano, and she's a PMP consultant and a life coach. How are you doing today, Janice?
Hello, Brent. I'm doing good. How are you?
Very, very good. So let's cut to the
Very
chase
good.
because this topic is really, really a hot topic for now. Can you give us some background about yourself, Janice?
Sure. Um, well, I've been working for the manufacturing and the IT industry for the last couple of decades.
Okay.
And at some point, a few years ago, I just felt that something was out there for me that I needed to go and see and look for my own. And I was kind of hoping for that. And it was not only in the professional way, but also in the personal way. And that's how I get into Dharma practice, which is known as Buddhism. I don't like to use that kind of term because, you get into some sort of religion discussion, which is not so much the topic. So I got into Dharma practices a little more than a decade now. Yeah. And all the answers that I was kind of looking for, little by little, start to make sense. Like, I had some questions in my mind that I needed to have, answers for. And again, little by little, everything just started to make sense. And during this time also, I had the enormous opportunity to face or to meet people around me that helped me on this path and helped me to, move towards what I wanted to do. Professionally and personally. So for the past 20 something years, I've been kind of a research about what is there, besides just our regular life, or what is it that we call regular life. As the Dalai Lama actually used to say, or is like, you get up in the morning, have your breakfast, go to job, and then you eat. In the afternoon, you go and see some friends, have some time, spend time with your family, and then you go to sleep again. And the very next morning, you start it all over again, and you call this life. So, is it a life? Is it actually life? Are you actually living? So that's it. For me, that was kind of a very interesting question from him. And I started to question this very same myself. So this is a little bit what I do. I mean, what I've been doing for the past few years. And well, now I professionally, a few years ago, I stopped being kind of an employee and being more focused on what I actually wanted to do. And that bring me to my professional life now, which is well, we were discussing that previously, and is I am I'm supporting an online meditation program. Right now. Yep.
That's very interesting. Actually, it's amazing that you talk about just what you said about getting up, going to work, seeing your friends, and then the next day, because I think that's what 90% of the people do on Earth. Just that's how life seems to be, because that's what we know. Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's, and it's precisely that, is because that's all we know. But that doesn't mean that it's all there is.
That's true.
It's much, much more than that. But I guess everything starts with an inquiry, right? Like, is it really that's what it is? is this it? Is this what I came from? So I had the opportunity a couple of years ago, the amazing opportunity to be part of this meditation program, and it calls the Tara Triple Excellence program, and it's a program that is based on, let's say, a life-changing way of living, because you are actually practicing a new way of living. This program takes you from the very basis. It's open to everybody. You doesn't have to be a professional about meditation, or you don't have to be, someone that is a mature practitioner. Whomever is interested in a different way of thinking, in a different way of life, it can be part of this program. And it's online. Anywhere on the globe you can take it, and it's very easy, it's very practical, have a very firm system, and very practical system that you can follow. And well, what I do there, among a few more things, is I am the project manager for the online retreats that we do within the meditation program. So I have an amazing team that I work with, and we set up the online retreats that we do for the participants, like globally. That's what we do.
Okay. So can you walk us through a little bit about your program for meditation? Can you give us a little an idea of what you actually do?
Sure. Well, first of all is teach you how to, we start with the beginning. So,
okay, sure.
So this is probably obvious, but not so much. But how to sit when you meditate, how to breathe when you meditate, what kind of attitude you should have when you meditate, and from there it brings you to, how to gives you you have a practice every morning and every afternoon for a few minutes only. And in the middle of the day, it gives you some sort of let's say homework or practice. So you don't, it's not just when you are sitting and listen to the teachings that our teacher is giving us. Is not about just be sitting and just hearing the teachings. It's also reflecting and try to practice on them, and how you approach life through this kind of new let's say mindset. No, and every single day you have a new topic, something that you will be dipping in, and every day. So little by little, by all these new thoughts and all these let's say emotions that will come up, you understand how you can start building a new way of thinking and a new way of living. And it's the support of the whole team, of the whole system. If you have any questions, we have once a month Q&A, questions and answers session with our teachers, and it's in a different languages. So we have this program also for 8 languages now, and Spanish included, of course. And you feel how you are, you have plenty of let's say practice mates, people that is actually practicing with you and have the same thoughts and the same thinking and probably the same doubts as you are, and you think very support, because you have because you have a whole system that walks you through what is it. What it is. An online meditation program, even if it's online, we are trying to do this very personal and very warm and kind, to everybody that is part of the program. Yes.
Yeah, I know that meditation, I've been meditating for about, I think, 10 years now, and I know that it helps you get to know yourself a bit better and helps you calm down and kind of gives you a direction where you want to go, because it's always good to have an idea of where you're going to go. So I enjoy what you're talking about. We also talked, oh, go ahead.
No, please.
Okay. We also talked about burnout and how burnout is actually has actually increased a lot since the pandemic. It's something that's been around for a long time, but I know that you also work and you do stuff with burnout and you actually have a workshop. So could you give us some idea about what your workshop is like and maybe just walk us through some steps on how you deal with burnout?
Sure. I am, I am a burnout consultant for global companies. That's what I do. Besides uh, my my support, providing support for the meditation program. Aside, what I do for companies is being burned out consultant. And as you said, I have a workshop that sometimes I kind of I felt during I was kind of telling you that I me myself was an employee for global companies for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and I myself was part of this kind of system that we have right now, right? Like you work and work and work, and you just lost dimension about what is going on out there. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like the Dalai Lama again said, right? Like you just wake up and go to work, and then have some fun a little bit with your friends, and then go to
Yeah.
bed, and the next day everything starts all over again, and that is just for many years, not just one day or two. It just you just in a blink of an eye, you just realize that is 1 month, six, a year,
Yeah.
and you don't even realize about that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
my workshop is pretty much about that. First, what
Okay.
I do is just that we need to realize, we need to be aware, how is it that we are living,
Mm-hmm.
and that we are actually burnt out. We are super overwhelmed with what we are doing every single day, and we don't even notice, because we think that this way of life is the way that we should be living. And nobody has telling us that we have actually the right to think otherwise.
Okay.
Or it is not there and a possibility to think otherwise? Of course there is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just right. It's our duty to think about, how do I want to live my life? And as we were kind of discussing
Mm-hmm.
previously, Brent,
Yes.
I'm not saying this in a romantic way or in a very superficial, like new age way. Of course not. Everything that is about the pandemic, and this is my very personal opinion, um, it's just to make us stop for a little bit. Stop for, just like not only for a country, not only for a society that I live in, for the whole world right now. It's on let's say on a phase that we need to stop for a moment
Mm-hmm.
and really think what we want to do, what we are doing. Do I really want to just wake up and go to work and go to bed again, start all over for the next 20 years of my life? Do I really want to do that? But in order for me to start thinking that way, I really need to realize, or to be aware that I am burned out. That really it's overpassing me, what I'm living right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do at the beginning, in a very, and I kind of provide a few guidance and techniques to understand how we can recognize this in our lives, not only in our professional life, but in our life as a whole,
Yeah.
right? And um, then also I kind of present a few techniques on how I can stop, how can I um, motivate this inside thinking,
Okay.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
also is very interesting, because even if we feel this like 24/7, we don't even realize what we are feeling, because we are not aware. Nobody told us before, like, you need to be aware of what is it that you're feeling, what is it that you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes during my workshops, when I ask, like, when you feel uncomfortable, or when you have some sort of an ache, where is it? And the first 2 or 3 seconds, people is like, what do you mean, where is it? And of course we have a body, we have a physical body, and this body is just helping us to realize that, to actually be aware of it. Where is it on your body? Just where is it? It's a very simple question. I'm not, it's nothing like, it's nothing super complicated. It's just, where is it in your body?
Yeah.
And and it's so funny because people is like, in my, okay, and then they just calm for a little bit and start to actually sing, where is it? So from there I just go to how we can, during our life, how we can just be aware. Where is it? Anything. I feel mad. Why? Where is it? And more than why, I would not say why. I don't even know why I say why, but more than why, I would say what for? That's kind of the right question for me at least, right? Okay. And then little by little, how we can implement some sort of a physical and mental techniques on how to move forward, to be more, have this balance in our life among what do I want and what I'm actually doing. I mean, my workshop is not like you just need to quit tomorrow, because this is not what you have to do. I mean, no, it's just about be aware, be more aware, be more present on your on what are you thinking, on what are you feeling, and how do you want to, what do you want to do with that? What you actually want to do with it? You want to really listen to it? Okay, then we can, take the next step. What to do with it? And again, it's not about just quit your job and don't do anything that you're doing right now. It's not about that. It's where you are right now is the perfect place for you to be. Okay. So how is it that you're going to make it perfect? Just the way it is. And that involves just pause for a moment, and try to see where I want to go. And it's based on 8 sessions, 2 hours per week, and at the end is pretty much about how we can set priorities, how we can have a time management that is actually matching what I want to do every day with my life. Okay. I do have a purpose at the end of my workshop, what for I'm doing this, right? Like it's very important to have a purpose on your life. Why are you doing this? It's not because it's paying my bills. It's not about that. Actually, every single time that we go to work is not about money. It's anything about money. So it's very interesting when you have this motivation on how to be more conscious about what you're doing every day. Be aware about your, let's say, your goal, your objective, your motivation every single day. It's very important. Yes. So at the end, I'm very, very happy to see that when you are happy what you are doing, you are not just more productive. You are also by yourself. You're self-directed, and you yourself want to do more. And that is everything about business, right? Like every company they just want to do that. Like they want to do more. They want to earn more. But I feel that the way that the economical system that we've been having these past few decades, it's a little bit overwhelmed for everybody. It's not about money, but it's about productivity, and it's also about happiness, and it's also about how I can be myself more grown where I am, professionally and personally, and to be able to understand what matters and what doesn't matter. Right. You just need pause for a moment. And you just need to really understand what is it that you're doing, what you're doing that for. And that will just automatically will lead you to a life with meaningful, with being more meaningful. And that will bring you also to a life that is for you emotionally correct. Let me just put it that way. Feels okay, feels fine what I'm doing, because I have a mindset that is actually looking towards me, what I want to do. And therefore, if I'm okay, of course that I will be okay around me. That it will be okay around me. Even my teammates, even anyone that is around me, even my company. If you are a happy person, your creativity is just something that it's just a natural consequence.
Right.
The way that you do things, it will be a natural consequence that you are more effective, efficient, and you are not just earning money, which is absolutely important because we need to, live in a society, but it's also important that you can rescue yourself.
Yes,
Right?
actually, yeah, that's one of the key points that I like about your workshop, is that you'll take someone who is maybe teetering on the edge of burnout, or actually is burnout already, and you'll get them to a place where they can actually start to manage their lives again and actually know why they're doing what they're doing. Because most people, I think, get lost in the process. And that's one of the hardest things about life, is to be lost and be in a corporate job and have to be productive every day. And it becomes really monotonous and very hard to do.
Exactly. And it's not like you have to be productive. Of course you will be productive, but for you, when you are part of this, at the end of the workshop, when you have a feeling that I don't have to, but I'm willing to, I want to, it's a total different emotion. It's a total different attitude. You still at the same job, you still at doing the same things, but your emotions towards what you are doing, and the emotions or the attitude that you have towards what you are executing every single day would be different.
Right.
And you don't even notice, because something that for me it's very interesting is that it's very subtle. It's very subtle about how we get into burnout. We don't even notice. We don't even know that we are there. So first of all, we need to notice. We need to be aware. And that's what is this workshop about? Is like how I can notice. There is a different things that you can in our daily life. And probably you do a few things, but you don't even notice that you are actually going through a direct burnout way. It's like you don't even know, because you think that this is the way they should be doing things. But I'm not so sure. So sometimes I'm very disruptive with my questions during my workshop, and people is just like, it's so funny to just look their faces and their expressions. How it's like, okay, who told this lady that she can answer, she can question this, and I'm just not saying anything. I'm just, I'm just inquiring. The rest is about you guys. So, but even as we were kind of talking before, even having, if after my workshop you have a doubt, just a very tiny little doubt about how things could be different for me, that's good enough. For me, I'm super successful.
No, I understand. Yeah, because people have to question themselves in order to change. Otherwise, they won't do anything. They won't get off the path that they're on.
Of course, yes. So it's very interesting. It's interesting, and it's super related to what we do on the Tara program too. It's like the Tara online program is based also on that, on how you can be aware of your negative emotions. That it's these days is just everything about that, right? Like it's very common that people think that, oh, I need to be very nice and I don't need to get angry, or I don't need to get boring, or I don't need to desperate, or I don't need to, well, that's a lot of assumptions that, out there, right? But just be kind to yourself and allow that you can have all those assumptions, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's fine,
So
but
go ahead.
No, the main thing about this program is that regardless how you feel, if you feel like, I'm angry and I I should be meditating, and I'm not. I shouldn't be angry. But why not?
Mm-hmm.
When people, when I sometimes ask like people like, why not? It just let it be. Why not? It's just, and this program is, I mean, among tons of things, but this program is a little bit about that. Just be kind to yourself and just allow that everything that you're feeling is what you're supposed to be feeling, and it's fine. It's not about cancel what you're feeling. It's about how to deal with what you're feeling.
That's a very good point you bring up, because I think we're at the end of our interview, but I really enjoyed what you talked about, because if we can't, as human beings, get in touch with our emotions and understand why we're feeling like the way we're feeling, and also just let ourselves be the way we are, because the more we try to mask or push stuff down, the harder it becomes to live your life and to actually do your job or be productive, or just enjoy life in general. Okay. So thank you very
And be
much.
aware that
Yes.
you are enjoying.
Yeah, and let yourself enjoy for whatever you need to enjoy. Yes.
Yes.
So thank you very much for coming on our show today. I really appreciate the information and the knowledge that you passed forward for us, because for me,
Thank you.
it's very valuable in this time, but it was very valuable before. So I thank you very much, Janice, for coming, and I hope all the best in the future for you.
Thank you so much, and for you too. And well, thank you for having me here today. It's been my pleasure. And well, let's just see what life bring to us. Let's just be open and happy about it.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.